The Martin Model 167 Maryland was an American light bomber. That first flew in 1939, it saw action in World War II with France and the United Kingdom. The prototype Model 167W was powered by twin-row Pratt and Whitney R183037 twin-wasp engines, which were replaced in French production aircraft by single-row 9-cylinder Wright R1820 Cyclone engines. Although the twin wasps were then restored for the British, Maryland, all versions of the Model 167 were armed with 6 machine guns. For fixed guns in the wings, mainly for ground attack, 1 dorsal gun and 1 ventral gun. The dorsal gun was mounted in a fully retractable turret. The French aircraft used license-built Belgian Fabrique Nationale FN Brownings and used a lighter semi-retractable dorsal turret. The weight saved helped to increase the top speed to 288 miles per hour. The Model 167 was a fairly typical twin-engined bomber. Of the period, the most unusual feature of the Model 167 was the very narrow fuselage, although it was shared with a number of late pre-war contemporaries. The crew of 3 was carried into isolated compartments. The bombardier sat in the nose below the pilot, and the gunner was in the mid-upper twin machine gun turret in a separate rear compartment, isolated by a bulkhead. Facing a massive German arms buildup, and desperate for modern aircraft, the French Air Force purchased U.S. aircraft of numerous types in the late 1930s. Martin received an order for more than 200 167Fs, which incorporated French equipment such as metric instruments. French officials expected deliveries to begin in January 1939, but the type, locally called the Glen Martin 167A3, entered service only in early 1940. Because of the U.S. embargo on arms exports, after the beginning of the war, many aircraft were impounded for 2 months before being shipped to Europe. When the Battle of France began, there were only 4 bomber squadrons equipped. The Glens were quickly sent to the front lines, where they performed well with their adequate speed and excellent maneuverability for an aircraft in this class. In about 400 sorties, they suffered a 4% loss rate, much better than the 16% endured by Leo for 151 crews against similar targets. Following Operation Torch in 1943, M167s were replaced with more modern Allied types, including the Martin B-26 Marauder. Approximately 215 Martin 167s were delivered to France just before the Franco-German armistice. The remaining 75 aircraft on the French order were signed over to the United Kingdom. 30 to Maryland's had been completed to French specifications and were converted to British requirements in the UK. The last 43 of the order were completed as required by Glen Martin. All these aircraft became the Maryland Mk-1. A further 150 aircraft had been ordered directly by Britain, with 2 speed superchargers on their twin wasps as the Maryland Mk-2. Many of the aircraft were shipped to Egypt and Malta in time for the 1941 fighting there. The Royal Air Force used the aircraft mainly for photo reconnaissance operations in North and East Africa. A Maryland bomber photographed the Italian fleet before and after the Battle of Taranto on the 11th of November 1940. The pilot, Adrian Warburton, scored his 5 confirmed kills with the Maryland's forward-firing guns. 7 Maryland Mk-1s were transferred to the British Fleet Air Arm and were mainly used for target towing duties. On the 22nd of May 1941, a Maryland of 771 Naval Air Squadron based at Hadston, in the Orkney Islands, reported that the German battleship Bismarck had left Bergen, confirming that she was breaking out into the Atlantic. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, bye.